Hi and welcome to the latest installment of TSGL, where you'll find everything simulation for planes, buses, trucks and even trains. TSGL, the Sim Guy Lee. Welcome everybody to my latest flight, where we are going to be going from Bonaire International to Aruba International in this wonderful JetBlue A320. So let's just quickly jump into the cockpit and we'll start getting things set up. I've just got to quickly set up a few background applications like the virtual co-pilot and the virtual air traffic control. But today we are in the Dutch Caribbean. We're going to be flying across these three islands from right to left. So we're going to be starting at Bonaire Flamingo International, coming out over Caraco and arriving at Aruba on runway 11. Total flight is about 45 minutes today. I'm also flying with injected real air traffic, and it's probably the closest I've got to actual real air traffic being injected. I'll put links in the description below so that you if you want to have a look at it. But it is a paid subscription. There's two parts to it. One is the one that actually gets the real air traffic.
Setting up. Okay.
And that's just a virtual pilot just going off on his checks or doing his setup. He will start setting up the cockpit. And as I say, I'll put descriptions in below to the two applications that inject the real air traffic. I've noticed on Flight Radar that there is a KLM aircraft due in before we leave today. So it'll be coming over and arriving on the runway that I'm looking at the moment. You can hear in the background various instruments coming alive, switches being switched. This is the virtual first officer. It's a new version of the pilot to crew or FS crew. It's still in beta, so this is the first time I'm using it. I don't know how well it's going to perform, but he sets up most of it. I've now just got to go in, as you can see now, just finishing off the overhead panel and getting the aircraft set up. So let's just do that. We configure the ADRs, we put on the seatbelt signs and the emergency exit signs, and turn off the fuel pumps, and everything else has been set up on the overhead panel. Then all we've got to do then is set up some extra lighting on the panel so that we can see. It's a very bright day in the Caribbean today, so the sun will wash it out, so you do need the panels quite bright.
I'm out for the walk around.
As you've just heard, the first officer announce is off for his walk around visual inspection of the exterior of the aircraft. So while he's doing that, I'm going to continue to set up the cockpit, and first thing that I need to do is get the METAR for Bonaire International. I use an app on my iPad. It's called Station WX. Very good app. It gives you all the latest METAR information for all the airports around the world, actually. So I'm just going to get the METAR now. As you can see, it's QNH is 1010, so I've already plugged that into the aircraft cockpit. I just seem to be experiencing a little bit of issues with Pilot to A2C. It doesn't seem to want to connect to the flight sim, so bear with me while I play around and reboot Pilot to ATC. As soon as it's rebooted and connects, we should get the ATIS announcement.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Okay. So as you can hear, the first officer has now finished his external visual checks of the aircraft and hasn't found any issues. So we'll just continue with the setup. I've almost got Pilot to ATC loaded and about to see whether it will actually connect to the flight sim. Once it connects, we should get the ATIS.
Flamingo International Information Delta, 1855 Zulu, winds are 132 at 11 knots. Visibility 6 miles. 2,300 broken. 2,700 broken. Temperature 31, dew point 23. Current QNH is 1010. Arriving and departing runway 10.
So as you can see, we've got now the ATIS. So Pilot to ATC is now communicating with Flight Sim. So it's now time to start setting up the McDo. I know many people have seen me do this many times, and most YouTubers go through the same process. So the time links are in the description below. So if at any time you want to jump forward to a particular point in the video, please feel free to do so. In the meantime, I'll leave you to sit here and watch me set up the McDo.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes, you can start boarding.
Thanks.
As you heard, the cabin crew have finished their checks so they can start boarding the passengers, so let's do that now. Just got to go through and forgot where it is. Hold on, bear with. No, weight and balance. That's it. Let's load the passengers. Next page. There we go. Start boarding. So as you can see, we've got 44 passengers to load, and they're loading at the moment. It doesn't take me quite as long these days to set up the Madu. It used to take me forever, but a lot of it now is straightforward. Okay, so that's the Madu finished. It's now time to go through the before start checklist with the first officer. So let's just get the checklist ready and we'll go.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Now bear with me a second, this is the first time I've used this new version of FS Crew, and it doesn't seem to have the same key binding as I used to have for the voice control, so I'm just trying to find out how I actually respond to the request for check-in, so be with you in a minute. So it doesn't look like the key press is now available, so at the moment, until I can set it up on my flight stick, I'll have to use the little arrow on screen. I know you can't see it, but it'll be there. Just one moment, here we go.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Remove.
Signs.
On and auto.
Adheres.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
4060 kilograms. Set.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Aero ref.
1010. Set.
1010. Set. Down to the line.
So when we start the virtual co-pilot and set him off to go and do his startup procedures, it starts a 30-minute flow, which allows time for him and myself to set up the cockpit, get everything ready, load the data into the Mabdu. And what I'm doing at the moment is loading the data into the virtual air traffic control, so that we can copy the get clearance to fly the route. But it does mean that we do have some time to kill. Bad word probably, but we have some time to pass while it does that. So bear with. Okay, let's call ATC to get our clearance to Aruba. JetBlue 320 ready to copy IFR clearance.
JetBlue 320 is cleared to Tango November Charlie Alpha. Fly the PJG-1Q departure, with the PJG transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway 10. Climb to flight level 040 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 4020.
JetBlue 320 is cleared to Tango November Charlie Alpha. Fly the PJG-1Q departure with a PJG transition, then as filed. Climb to flight level 040 via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 4020.
JetBlue 320 read back correct. QNH is 1010. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
QNH is 1010 JetBlue 320.
So we've still got a few minutes to go before passengers are boarded, so let's pop outside and see whether we can find this TUI 8320 that's coming into land. I can see on its final approach, or it's on approach to the airport at the moment. I can see it on flight radar 24, so let's just wait and see. So we can just see the little speck that has appeared just above the horizon of the TUI A320. So it's going to be a couple of seconds or a minute before it actually touches down. You can see it's looming in sight. So let's just sit back and enjoy the landing. Whilst we watch the plane land, let's welcome our passengers aboard the aircraft for today's flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As you locate your assigned seats, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartments. If you need assistance, contact a flight attendant. If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also, review the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
So we've had the cabin crew welcome the passengers on board. Now that everyone is on board now, it's time to give the captain's personal welcome.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. This is the captain speaking. On behalf of the entire flight crew and myself, I'd like to welcome you aboard today's flight. Our flight attendants are there for your comfort, but more importantly for your safety, so please give them a few minutes of your undivided attention while they go over the safety features of this aircraft. Once the boarding process is complete, we'll get the cabin door closed and push off the gate for an on-time departure. In the meantime, please sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. Welcome aboard.
So we're just waiting for the final couple of passengers to finish boarding. It shouldn't be too long. And we can still see that TUI A320 at the end of the taxiway. It'll be coming up soon and parking in the not so much in the bays here, but on the parking ramp behind us. Just waiting for the cabin crew to confirm that all passengers are on board.
Hey guys, are we clear to close?
Yes.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
So it looks like all the passengers are on board now, and the cabin crew are going to close the doors, although I haven't got the doors open at the moment here. I've not quite got into exactly how they work in it, so I've not bothered to do that this time. I will do that immersion on my next video now that I know what to expect. So we're almost ready now, and we can call up the ground services, although they're not working here. You don't see anything, to let them know that we're almost ready to do the pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Roger.
Okay, let's call air traffic control and get permission to push back and start the engines. JetBlue 320 ready for pushback and engine start.
JetBlue 320 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved JetBlue 320.
Let's do the final preparation of the cabin before we actually call the pushback into operation.
Cabin crew arm slides and cross check.
You can see that TUI A320. Let's get pushback and start the engines.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
I know you can't see the tug, but Pushback Express will still do the pushback, and it's just an arbitrary pushback because we just need to line up a little bit better.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Okay, we can start the engines when we want. But first we'll just quickly stop the pushback. I've just put the ignition on, ready.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We will see you on the right-hand side with the pin.
Thanks, and you can disconnect and go to hand signals.
Thanks. Have a good flight. See you later.
So we can now do the before start below the line.
Below the line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Before start checklist complete.
Starting engine 2.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight today. This is the lead flight attendant speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for port safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on this aircraft. Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew instructions, lighted information signs, and posted placards. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped with an escape slide. Locate the exit nearest you. The nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, lights will illuminate the aisle. The cabin is pressurized. If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a panel will open and oxygen masks will appear. Remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and pull a mask toward you to start the flow of oxygen. Oxygen will be flowing to the mask even though the bag may not inflate. Cover your nose and mouth with the mask, place the elastic band around your head, and tighten by pulling on the ends. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Your seat bottom cushion may be used as a flotation device. Pull up and remove the cushion. Upon exiting the aircraft, place your arms around the cushion and hold on to the straps located on the back. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located above your seat. Thank you for your attention.
So I've now finished doing the after start preparation and settings. Let's do the after start checklist.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
Off.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Pitch trim.
26% set.
Rudder trim.
0.
After start checklist complete.
Okay, I think we're almost ready to go. Time to call up air traffic control and get our taxi clearance. JetBlue 320, request taxi to runway 10.
JetBlue 320 taxi to runway 10. JetBlue 320 advise when ready for departure.
Wilco JetBlue 320.
Okay, it's time to turn off the APU because we don't need that no more, and turn on the taxi lights, and we can get going. Once everything's ready, we'll start the taxi.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Flight control check.
Ready. Full down. Full up. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
It is a very short taxi to the holding point of runway 10. In fact, you can see it just in front of us. But we'll still go. It's not, as I say, it's not that far. We'll do a brake check on the way, or just before, and we'll do the before takeoff checklists. Okay, let's go. And we're already here. So let's stop, and when we stop we do the brake check.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
One last check before we do it, and make sure we've got everything set up. And then we'll call for the before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirm.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
V1, 1, 3, 2, VR, 1, 3, 4, V2, 1, 3, 8.
V1, 1, 3, 2, VR, 1, 3, 4, V2, 1, 3, 8, ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Down to the line.
So I think we're ready to go. Let's call up air traffic control and get our takeoff clearance. JetBlue 320 ready for departure, runway 10.
JetBlue 320 winds are 122 at 11 knots, cleared for takeoff, runway 10.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 10 JetBlue 320.
Okay, so it's just time now to do the before takeoff checklist below the line.
Below the line.
Cabin crew, be seated for takeoff. Approach path clear of traffic. Takeoff runway.
Confirm.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
PAX.
PAX are on.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
So the checklist has confirmed that the PAX are on. Normally you turn them off, and in the old version of the FS to crew, the first officer did actually turn those off beforehand, so I've just turned them off and we can start getting ready to move forward. Just check to see if there's anything coming. I can't see anything on my actual radar settings on my flight sim or flight aware tracking, and let's move forward. On this one we've got to turn to the right, backtrack down the runway for a little bit and do a 180 turn. So let me concentrate on that and we'll get ready for the takeoff. Okay, so we're lined up on the runway and we are ready to go. Everything's clear, everything's set, takeoff lights are on, strobe is auto, and I think taxi lights can come off, or the nose lights can come off. I think we are ready to go.
Takeoff.
Check.
Man flex, SRS, auto thrust, blue.
Checked. Thrust set.
Checked.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Nah.
Check.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Flap 0.
Speed checked.
Thrust, climb, auto thrust.
Check. Flap 0.
Climb.
Check.
JetBlue 320 climb and maintain flight level 100, contact Curacao Center on 124.1.
Speed.
Have a good afternoon.
Climb and maintain flight level 100 center on 124.1 JetBlue 320. Center JetBlue 320 climbing to flight level 100.
JetBlue 320, good afternoon. Radar contact. JetBlue 320 climb and maintain flight level 100.
Climb and maintain flight level 100 JetBlue 320.
Thrust, climb.
Check.
Open, climb.
Check.
So as you can hear, there is a lot of chatter going on, so I'm just going to concentrate on what's going on here now.
2,500.
JetBlue 320 expedite climb to flight level 100.
Expedite climb to flight level 100 JetBlue 320.
After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
Packs are on.
Down to the line.
Clear red hat.
Okay.
Set standard.
Standard. Cross-checked. Passing flight level 062. Now.
Checked.
JetBlue 320, you are off course.
Outstar.
Turn
Check.
right
Speed.
heading
Check.
122 to return to course.
Heading 122 JetBlue 320.
Heading, check. $1,000 to go, check.
So as you can see, the autopilot went wrong after we took off. As we took off, we should have gone to the right, and I did start to manually turn to the right to get onto the SID that we're supposed to be following. Unfortunately, as soon as I turned the autopilot on, it went and banked us to the left. What I should have done was manually follow the heading instead of letting the autopilot do it itself. So lesson learned. ATC have had a moan at us, and we're now doing a right bank now to get back on course. It's delayed us a little bit, but as you can see, we are just approaching the top of our climb and getting to our altitude level of 10,000.
Out cruise,
check.
below the line.
Barrel ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff, climb checklist complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at our destination shortly. If you are making a connection to another flight, please see the customer service agent.
I have control.
Flight or video monitors inside the terminal for connecting gate information. For your continued safety, flight attendants will now walk through the cabin to secure it for landing. We'll be collecting all service items, newspapers, and any other items you wish to discard or may not be taking off the aircraft with you. Also, in preparation for landing, please turn off all electronic devices. Stow these devices and all other carry-on items. Please use caution when opening overhead bins, as items may have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray tables or return your seats to their upright positions and check the security of your seatbelts. We will be landing shortly. Thank you.
As you heard, I handed control of the aircraft over to the first officer, so I can now concentrate on putting this information in for our approach into Queen Beatrix International at Aruba. It's because it's so close, the QNH at the moment is exactly the same as what we left Bonaire at. The temperature at the moment is plus 27. I wish that it was here in the UK at the moment, but it's sadly not. I'm just looking up on my app what the wind speed is and direction. Do that right in a minute. We've got a transition altitude of 4,000. So that's the transition altitude of 4,000, and we've got a magnitude of 9 knots at 90 degrees. I'm also checking the approach charts for the decision altitude so that I can put that into in here as well. I will go through this in more detail a bit later on in the video when I start doing the approach briefing. In the meantime, everything's set up there for that.
JetBlue 320 turn left heading 122.
Heading 122 JetBlue 320.
JetBlue 320 resume navigation.
Resume navigation JetBlue 320.
So air traffic control tried to get me to turn left again, don't know why, because where we need to go and the flight path that we need to follow is continuing round to the right, or was continuing round to the right, and then a couple of seconds later they just tell us to continue our own navigation. So we're back on schedule now, we're back on the flight path that we need to continue on, so let's continue.
Nav.
Check.
So we're about to fly over the island of Caracoa, or Caraco, however you pronounce it. We're at our cruise altitude, so I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music in the background and enjoy the flight. As we go over the island itself, I'll take an outside view so you get to view the island. And don't forget, if you don't want to sit here and watch this and listen to the music, you can always use the time frames in the description below to jump forward, backwards, jump around the video to anything that you might want to visit. I'll put links in to any of the key moments.
JetBlue 320 expect the Earl 2 Alpha arrival with the ERLIP transition for the ILS approach to runway 11 with the ILUMO transition at Reina Beatrix International. After PJG cleared direct ERLIP.
Expect the IRLE-2 Alpha arrival with the IRLEP transition for the ILS approach to runway 11 with the ILUMO transition after PJG cleared direct IRLEP JetBlue 320.
You have control.
So I've just taken back control of the aircraft. I finished doing my setting up. I've had my cup of coffee and feeling a little bit more refreshed, and we get ready now for the approach phase of the flight.
JetBlue 320 descent via the Earl to arrival with the ERLIP transition to flight level 040 QNH is 1010 at Reina Beatrix International.
Descent via the IRLE-2 arrival with the ERLIP transition to flight level 040 QNH is 1010 JetBlue 320.
We're currently at 10,000 feet at the moment, around about here, and we're about to reach the top of our descent. We're coming in on the ERLIP 2A star into Beatrix International Airport. We're going to be coming in to runway 11 Zulu. So if you have a look at our approach, or our star, so we're coming through ERLIP, around here, if I zoom in, ERLIP, ILO2, Bakutu to Elumo. At Elumo we need to be 4,000 feet, which is what will be our initial clearance. We have a transition altitude of flight level 4,000 or 4,000 feet, which I've already programmed into the McDo. If we have a look at the approach itself, we're going to be coming into Davla at 2,500 feet to intercept the ILS. We've got a decision altitude of 263 feet, which I've already programmed in. We've got the ILS beacon at 108.7, which I've still got to put into the McDo. And we've got the missed approach briefing, so we're going to climb on the extended runway, so we're going to climb out of here, we're going to do a left turn, right, at flight level 4,000, okay, to Copob, and then we're going to go to Igrom. We're going to be put in a hold, and then ATC will guide us back to Davla, and we'll retry the approach.
JetBlue 320 contact Beatrix approach on 120.9. Enjoy your afternoon.
Approach on 120.9 JetBlue 320. Approach JetBlue 320 at flight level 100.
JetBlue 320 good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Earl to Alpha arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 11 with the Ilumo transition at Reina Beatrix International.
Continue descent via the IRLE-2 Alpha arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 11 with the Ilumo transition JetBlue 320.
So as you heard from the announcement there, ATC have now cleared us to Queen Beatrix International, confirmed the star, and I'm just going to put in now the ILS approach frequency. I'll try and put in the beacon name, but for some reason it doesn't allow me to do it. But anyway, we've got our clearance. We will be reaching our top of descent very shortly. Still another couple of minutes to go, and we'll start heading down. Before we actually start descending, we'll do a courtesy call to the passengers on board, just to let them know that we are about to start our descent and to go and get seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, this is the captain speaking. We're going to begin our initial descent here momentarily. At this time, I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign back on, so please return your seats and keep your seatbelts securely fastened until the aircraft is going to stop at the gate and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. It's been our pleasure having you on board for today's flight, and we hope to see you back on a future flight again real soon. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Right, time to start our descent.
Thrust idle.
Check.
Open descent.
Check.
Okay, so there's about 7 minutes from now until we actually touch down. During that time, it can get quite hectic as I concentrate with the first officer to get the plane configured, slowed down, and attack the glide slope. So I'm going to leave you to enjoy the descent.
Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
On.
Barrel ref.
1010 set.
1010 set. Passing 8,500. Now
Checked.
So as you know, we initially descending to 4,000 feet to transition via the Ilumo transition. We do a right-hand turn to Devla and continue our descent to 2,500. We'll then make our final turn to intercept the ILS and land.
Set.
1010 set. Minimum.
263 set.
263 set. Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
JetBlue 320 QNH is 1010 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 11 with the Ilumo transition at Reina Beatrix International.
QNH is 1010 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 11 with the Ilumo transition JetBlue 320.
Flaps 2.
Check speed.
Flaps 2.
Check speed.
Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
As you can see, I've just activated the LS button, the landing system button, so that we can start looking out for the diamonds horizontally and vertically. Just make sure that our lights are configured correctly and continue on our approach and descent.
JetBlue 320 descend via the Ilumo transition to 2,500 feet.
Descended 2,500 feet via the Ilumo transition. JetBlue 320.
JetBlue 320 QNH is 1010 at Reina Beatrix International. Contact us on this frequency when on the ground to cancel IFR.
QNH is 1010 will call this frequency to cancel IFR when on the ground JetBlue 320.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Just heard that the gears have gone down. We got 3 green lights, so we're happy, and we are descending and getting ready for our final turn to line up on the runway.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full. Cabin crew proceeded for landing.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Off.
Auto brake.
Off.
ECAM memo.
Landed. No blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Out star.
Check.
Speed.
Check.
Out.
Check.
Load.
Check.
So we've captured the localizer left and right, and I've just armed the approach, so we're just waiting for the diamond on the altitude to pick up the glide slope, and it's running for a landing. It's about to pick up the glide slope any minute now, so enjoy the landing.
Glide slope star.
Check.
Glide slope.
Check.
2,500.
Radar altimeter alive.
Check.
This is going to be a manual landing, so I will be turning the autopilot off at around about 500 feet to do a manual landing in this airport, so enjoy.
Check.
altitude above.
Continue.
Check.
Check. Manual
Region.
flight.
Check.
Minimum 200.
Flare.
30,
Check.
30, 20, 10, 5.
Low out. Check. Spoilers. Reverse grain decel. 70 knots.
So, welcome to Queen Beatrix International Airport in Aruba. That was quite a decent landing. I'm quite impressed with that. Quite pleased with it. So we'll just taxi on up. Once we leave the runway, we'll stop and do a post-landing checklist.
After landing checklist.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Are you sure about that? APU.
Start.
Radar.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safely at the gate. This will be your indication it is safe to move about the cabin, gather your belongings, and disembark. We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
Okay, we'll go and park this up. We'll take the one to the right of the other JetBlue aircraft that's parked there, and that again has been added by the application that I've got using that injects real life airport air traffic. Once we there, I'm not going to go through the shutdown procedures. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys a replay of the landing. It's not brilliant.
Taxi light off.
So there's a problem since trying to take off like a bird. But enjoy the replay. It just shows it from the outside. Until the next time, goodbye for now.